Welcome back to the channel. My name is Wong, and today we are driving the all-new 2021 Volkswagen Golf GTI. This car has literally just arrived onto our shores. The Australian press hasn't even seen the car yet. I can't wait to be diving right into this awesome hot hatch. If you want to see epic car reviews and some more automotive related content here on YouTube, consider subscribing to the channel, and let's get straight into it. We're setting off in the Volkswagen Golf GTI, and immediately once you hop into this cockpit, you are just bathed in so much technology. And let's talk about the styling of this interior, because that is the controversial area of concern in this new Golf GTI. And people say that it's just a little bit lacking in the interior. Yes, they've gone to huge lengths to make it so much more advanced in technology and just to modernize the entire layout of this cabin. Yes, they've taken it from their Audi counterparts and they've fitted it into this car, and it looks like a really nice place to be in, and with all these new haptic touch buttons. And personally, I really like how they look. They are truly very aesthetic, but when it comes down to the handling and fiddling these switches, it does feel kind of cumbersome and annoying at times, because if you're a finicky driver, you want to quickly adjust your temperature controls. But if you want to do that quickly in this car, you've got to do it quite slowly, because the computer systems just don't actually register your touch responses. And when you're flicking through the different pages, yes, you can swipe through with the hand gesture like this, but when you're adjusting drive modes, it just becomes a little bit more troublesome, and you have to reach out onto the center console here and switch it between the different modes. You don't actually have a physical button that you can just shift on the steering wheel. And same when you're turning off the ESC. There's a lot of steps to really get to where you want to, and I think that's just a little bit of a drawback. From a standpoint as a consumer, it's so much better than the predecessors. Everything about it just feels so much more high quality. The seat that I'm sitting in is very supportive and bolstered, and it really holds me in this driving position. Though it's missing that tartan style design, I really like this leather option, and I think a lot of owners are going to want to opt for this because it just feels a little bit more luxurious. At my side here, you've got really big cup holders. It's a very minimalist design, and even with the infotainment system, it kind of resembles an iPhone or an iPad style layout. Even the way you press the home button, there's a little square here that takes you right back to the main menu. And there's wireless phone charging in here as well. The steering wheel, it's a nice thick steering wheel in your fingertips, and you've got a whole lot of buttons here to adjust exactly what you want to be doing in this Golf GTI. And yes, they also have the haptic buttons in here, but I like the way it looks. And to top it off, this steering wheel as well has a heated steering wheel feature. Of course, you've got heated seats, but this car just takes it up a notch. And when it comes down to it, the Golf GTI is just such a comfortable and compliant daily driver. We've got the car in comfort mode, and we're cruising in drive and economy. And because of that, it's fuel efficient, it's not loud, it's not intrusive, and it just handles these bumps so well. You honestly don't even feel them in this cabin. It's just got such a docile feel about it. And then at the flip of a switch, you hit that drive mode on the dashboard and you turn it over into sport, and this car honestly just comes alive. The gears are just held a little bit longer. The torque mapping just ramps up, and you unlock the power curve of this GTI, and it's just a little bit cheekier when you do so, because you listen to it, it's got a little bit of that sound coming through the cabin, but when you drop your gears, it's just pure engine noise. And this car handles in a way that's just so much better compared to its predecessors. Because of the new vehicle dynamic control, all the different components of the vehicle work in unison together. So the drivetrain, the powertrain, the limited slip differentials, everything works together to create a balance when you're driving this vehicle. And with that, it just makes this vehicle feel so much more composed. At the end of the day, this is a car that you want to come in, relax, on a rainy day, and it's a very comfortable cruiser. It delivers it in a package that still looks so timeless. From the first generation of the Golf nearly 50 odd years ago, they haven't really caused a drastic revolution to that DNA, but rather they've evolved it in minute changes just to make it that little bit better. It's very similar to that Porsche 911 bloodline in the sense that they just make incremental changes to make the GTI better. And when you're driving this car, it totally feels like a brand new vehicle because it just has so much composure about it. I'm pushing it thoroughly through these corners and it just has a sense of grip and traction. This car makes 245 horsepower and 370 Newton meters of torque. Yes, it's down compared to its competitors. Yes, the GI Yaris, the Focus RS, the Audi RS3 and the 845, but it's not a downright hyperhatch. It's a car that does it all, and because of that, it's got a lovely duality about it, and you can have a very fun time if you want to up the ante a little bit and to make it a fun hot hatch. It's got a sense of engagement, and it's pretty darn quick. And you don't really want to be having that much power in a front wheel drive hot hatch, but when you're putting it out there and setting it through the paces, it really does move quite swiftly. And the car just has a unique drive that just hooks through all of these corners. It doesn't feel front wheel drive at times because it just manages to grip right through the trick electronic limited slip differentials and the new system that Volkswagen has thrown into this 8th generation of the Golf GTI really add an element of harmony when you're driving this car. And when you step on it, it really does get up there. It does 0 to 100 in 6.2 seconds. It's not a huge power jump from its predecessors and even the acceleration times alone, but it's these small enhancements over the predecessors that just make this overall car so much better. I think the styling of this new generation of the Mark 8 Golf GTI looks really quite cool. It's more modern and contemporary. I think personally the previous generation looks a little bit more aggressive, but this car just has this futuristic feel that's honestly growing on me as every time I look at it. It's got a honeycomb front face that looks like it's just so happy and ready to go. It's kind of like a Miata at times. You've got the fog lights thrown into the honeycomb grille. You've got LED matrix headlights, and to top it off, you've got that LED light bar at the front just below that signature red stripe for the Golf GTI. At the back, I think that's truly where this car shines. They've gone away with putting the GTI badging on the side, and now they've put it right there in the middle. It's front and foremost, this is a GTI, and they want to make sure that everybody knows that. And the GTI is finished off with an 18-inch set of alloy wheels, and they look kind of like an electric car's wheels. I had a few people passing by saying, oh, is that a new electric car? And I can kind of concur to that. It looks a little bit disappointing. But overall, I think the aesthetics definitely elevate this car into a modern standard. The Golf GTI has now become truly a household name. When you think of a hot hatch, you just think of a Golf GTI. It is the tried and trusted car that people resort to when they look for a fun, sporty, little daily driver commute. You know, people of all ages and all demographics love this car, and there's a reason for that. It just works. So to pick up a Volkswagen Golf GTI in this all-new 8th generation, you're looking at spending around $58,500 drive away here in Australia, and that varies between dealer to dealer. I've had an awesome time driving this all-new GTI hot hatch. It's truly just been a refreshing touch on that tried and trusted classic hot hatch. I want to say a huge thank you to Alvin from Ferntree Gully Volkswagen for allowing me to conduct this review on a car that's literally brand spanking new. When we took it out today, it only had 26 kilometers on the clock. We've done a fair few now, so I apologize in advance, but it's been so much fun. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. In the comments below, tell me what you like about the all-new 2021 Volkswagen Golf GTI. And as well as that, consider subscribing to the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Please take care. Bye for now.